Good evening and welcome to The Nest. My name is Maureen Y254 and I'm your host tonight. The stories are always ordinary. The stories are about real people with true stories. And tonight is no different. We have an amazing woman, a mother, a wife, and she has an incredible story about her experience giving birth at only 24 when her husband was living and working abroad till this day. Fast forward, her baby is 7 years old and she had crazy separation anxiety, which made her very protective of her baby. And later on, she came to realize what was going on, and God blessed her with another baby, of whom she even managed to live at home at only 8 months old. We can't wait to hear this story. But meanwhile, we'll see you right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. It affects how one feels, thinks, and behaves, and can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. Depression does not only affect adults. Children and young people can get depressed as well. It's not exactly known what causes depression, and as with many mental disorders, a variety of factors may be involved, including brain chemistry, inherited traits, biological differences, and hormones. The primary symptoms of depression revolve around sadness, a feeling of hopelessness, and mood changes. When a child seems sad either doesn't necessarily mean they have depression, but if the sadness becomes persistent or interferes with their normal social activities, interest, schoolwork, or family life, it may mean they have a depressive illness. Some of the common symptoms of depression in children include crankiness, social withdrawal, being more sensitive to rejection, continuous feeling of sadness and hopelessness, changes in sleep, changes in appetite either increased or decreased, trouble in concentrating, vocal outbursts or crying, fatigue and low energy, and physical complaints that don't respond to treatments. Depression may also lead to thoughts of suicide. It's important to get help early if you think your child may be depressed. The longer it goes on, the more likely it is to disrupt your child's life and turn into a long-term problem. The treatment options for depression is psychotherapy and/or antidepressants. Today we get to look in depth at the causes, how to prepare children to accept eventualities in life, and generally how to prevent depression in children.
Welcome back. We have our beautiful guest, a mother. Her story is absolutely extraordinary in as much as she insists it's not, but it's about sharing her experience and also how she overcame it to get where she is today. And karibu sana. Maybe you could introduce yourself to our viewers.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Anika Guru. I'm 31 years old and I'm a mother of 2.
Wow.
I have a son who is 7 years old and a daughter who is 8 months old.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence.
Thank you for having me again.
Right. We know that every mother has a story to tell.
Sure.
So, Anne, I know that you got your baby at a very young age.
Sure.
Obviously as an adult, but also as a very young lady.
Sure.
So where did it all begin? The thought of starting a family, where did it all begin?
Okay, so I finished campus back in 2011. So I met my husband then, end of 2011. But so we decided to be together and we did our traditional marriage in 2012.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was trying for a kid a whole year. It didn't happen.
Okay.
So he used to go and come. He lives abroad. Actually, sorry, I had not mentioned, yes.
Right.
He lives abroad. He lives in Canada. So he works there.
Okay.
Yeah. And the nature of his job could not allow me to go and join him because he works in an oil field.
Oh, I see. True,
Yeah,
the
so
oil
he lives
fields
in the
are-
camp.
Yes,
Yeah.
there. So it wouldn't even make a difference.
It wouldn't make a difference. So I
Right.
had to stay back home
Yes.
because actually at the end of it all, his plan is coming back home.
Okay.
So I got married at 22 years. And so we started looking for a child.
Yes.
So the whole of 2012, then 2013, I got pregnant, April.
Wow.
Yes, it was so exciting. Yeah, and he could make to come home thrice a year
Oh, yeah.
or
That's-
4 times a year.
That's a big deal from Canada.
Yeah.
Yes.
So finally gave birth to my child, but he was not there. He
Okay.
couldn't make to come home.
I see. So you carried the pregnancy when he was still away.
He was still away.
and
He
coming
came
back.
twice
Right.
when I was pregnant, but he couldn't come when I was getting the baby.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how was that? I can imagine the pregnancy journey
Yes.
and towards giving birth.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
The pregnancy was quite smooth, I would say.
Oh.
I was expecting not any other mother would say, I'll
Yes.
just go to the hospital and give birth to a baby normally
Yes, yes.
and everything. I'm
Yes.
waiting for the labor pains and everything. So throughout the journey, it was nice. I would go for clinics and everything.
Okay.
So on the 19th of January, I was 42 weeks. I was
Okay.
2 weeks
Oh.
past. Yes, I was completely. So it
Little
was
person
42
did
weeks.
want to come out.
Yes,
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 yes.
So at 42 weeks, so my gyna decided they should induce me so that I could get the baby. So
Yes.
and then he could not come to Kenya.
Oh, of course.
So I was induced for over 24 hours, but the baby still did not come. I could not open more than 3 centimeters.
I see.
So it was declared emergency CS,
Okay.
which I was not
We
ready.
all dread it.
Yes,
Yes.
which I was not ready. I was so scared. I don't know why I was scared about it.
No,
But
no, you know,
I was
this is
just
opening
the
up.
thinking of
Yes.
being in theater and
Yes.
everything. I was
Yes.
really scared.
Yes.
But finally, I went through it, and when I went back home, that's when maybe later on I realized that that's when I was not okay,
Okay.
because I would put a pillow between when we are sleeping, because my
Yes.
mom came, my husband was not around,
Okay.
so my mom came to do the
To stay
nursing
with
for me.
you,
Yes.
yes, yes.
So I would put a pillow between my mom and my kid when we are sleeping, because I was scared
Oh, my
that
goodness.
my baby will
Yes.
get hurt.
Yes.
If you would come to visit me, you had to hold the baby with a pillow. Like I would literally put a pillow
Oh,
on you, then I
wow.
put the baby on top. Yes. You
Yes.
couldn't hold my baby without the pillow, because I would feel
Yes.
you will break the neck or the
Oh,
ears.
I see.
So I came to realize later that it was not normal.
It was
like
not
no,
normal.
yes,
Yes.
So with time, I could not detach with my kid.
Okay.
So my mom tried to talk to me about getting a nanny so that maybe they could help with the house chores
Right.
and cooking.
Yes.
I couldn't do it by myself.
Okay.
So I don't know why I was having these imaginary ideas, like the nanny would come in and maybe take the baby when I'm sleeping.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I was just having a hard time, and the baby is small. I want to lock myself in my room. Then when I lock it, I feel like maybe the house will catch fire and I'll not hear. It was crazy.
So you had paranoia.
I had paranoia, crazy paranoia.
Right. And was
Yes.
this from day one when you came back home, or was it a progressive paranoia?
I would say it was from day one.
Okay.
Then it went getting
Worse and worse.
Yes, because from day one you will see I will not allow anyone to hold the baby without the pillow.
Right.
I will protect my baby even from my own mom.
Oh,
So
I
with
see.
time,
Yes.
I realized, because when the baby was growing, even when the baby was getting to 2, 3, 4 months, I didn't want anyone around my baby
I see.
completely.
I
was
see.
protecting the baby.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe you can even elaborate further, like your ordinary days. How would they look like? You wake up in the morning, because I can relate in a way with my
Yeah.
story, because I could leave my baby in the room and run to shower. And I can tell you this, the first 3 months, I wasn't in the shower for more than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So the minute, in fact, I would run, turn on the water, come back,
Yeah.
and then now go inside to shower. I had mastered, like head to toe.
Yeah.
2 minutes. And
Yeah.
for some reason, even when I would be in the shower, I would sort of hear my baby crying, of
yeah.
which was not correct.
True.
And then I was also locking myself up in the room and not
yeah.
wanting people near my kids,
Yeah.
or giving. In fact, I would give out my baby, and I'm like, I cannot
the baby
leave.
okay?
Yes, is
Yeah.
the baby okay? Is the baby going to be dropped? So I can
Yeah.
relate in a way.
Yeah,
But what
sure.
were some of the things you could have done then that you're looking back and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
what was going
Like
on?
drawing the curtains. I used
Yes.
to hate drawn curtains. Yeah, I wanted them to stay closed throughout the
Yes,
day.
yes.
Most of the time, I wanted to spend my time in the bedroom with my
Aha,
baby.
yes.
Yes. I locked out a lot of people. I didn't want visitors. Then it got to a point that I wanted them, but I don't want them to hold my baby.
Right.
Yeah. So at some point, I painted my house black and navy blue.
What?
Yes.
Oh, this is when the baby is still
The baby,
small.
within the first year of my baby.
No.
Yes.
Because you preferred
I preferred a dark
spaces.
space. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I preferred a dark space. So I chose a dark color for my sitting room. I mixed black with navy blue. You can imagine how, yes, it was too dark and I never wanted the curtains drawn.
Okay.
Yeah, so I became very protective of my kids. So once I hired a nanny, I would always, like when the baby cries, ata kidogo too, like I'm there. Why is the baby crying? You're fired.
Yes.
You're fired.
Oh no.
Yes, and it is something that can happen when I'm having the baby.
True.
But I couldn't handle it.
Right.
I was too overprotective of my kid, even to the dad. When the dad came,
No.
yes. When he was carrying him, I didn't want.
You're
I was
there.
scared. Like
Almost
I don't know why.
putting
It's
your
because
hands-
he was
yes.
not there, so I was feeling maybe he won't handle the baby nicely.
see, yes.
He was not there. He does not know how to handle the baby. He needed to be there to learn how to handle a baby with me. So I was skeptical about giving him the baby. At times he will tell me, just rest. I'll be with the baby.
Oh.
But I couldn't.
I see.
I couldn't. Yes.
Okay. And what do you think, were there particular incidents or factors that could have led you to that? Looking back, would you think, would you think there's something that happened that made you get into this paranoia stroke, you know, depressive state?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Personally, I think maybe an expert will tell me, but having this kid alone, like the father is there, yes, but he's not there physically.
Yes.
So he was present on phone. He would call. He would follow up, take care of the hospital bills and everything. Try to keep up with us how we are, but his presence not being there. And then I also feel maybe when like a friend would ask me, the father is not here, how will you even give birth and the father is not there, you know.
The
it also
pressure.
makes you the pressure around. So I even remember when I was in hospital, my mom would urge me, please just go for the cesarean section, you get the baby. And I was like, no, I cannot go to the theater, I want the dad to come. I want the dad here. So they had to talk me. They even had to call my grandmother from Limuru, to come talk to me so that I could go to theater. So I think I was scared of having this baby alone.
Yes.
Remember, I was young, not really young, but I was
still,
young.
You were quite young.
I was 24 actually then. So it was the first time I just got married, fresh from campus. I've never lived in with someone. Now it's here.
And
baby
you're
is
alone
here.
now.
I'm alone. A baby is here. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to handle this? So I think I was really scared. I had a lot of mixed emotions before the baby and after the baby. So after the baby, you know the way the babies cry the first month. My mom was there. I thank God for her. But at some point she had to leave. She had to go at home because I have other siblings. She had to go take care of them. So when she left, I was all alone with this baby. So I felt I needed to protect this baby. And letting go of protection was...
It wasn't... yes, and I can imagine later on it would come to affect you in ways that we're going to discuss later. So slowly by slowly, when did you feel like things are improving along the way?
I remember there was a time when my son was 2 years old, and then his dad showed him something, like just a boyish thing. And I was so scared. I got mad. I even asked him to leave the country. I don't want to see him. He's putting the baby into danger. And then he just sat me down and told me, no, you have to let it go. Stop being scared. The baby is not in danger. I'm the dad. As much as you are the mom, I cannot harm the baby, but he'll respect me and he'll respect my feelings.
He was understanding where you were coming from.
Actually, he was the one even asked me to sought help. Yeah, he just told me to be talking to people and try and let go the baby. You know, till today, I cannot let my son go sleep somewhere, even for a sleepover. Till date, I just feel, I just have a little attachment about it, but I'm trying as much as possible to let go, but it's quite confusing. With him, it's quite confusing,
I know,
which is very different with the other baby.
It's true, and we're going to talk about that as I also share, and I can tell you this, I have a very soft spot and very protective situation with my firstborn son as well. In fact, till today, he's 5 years old, but when he cries, it hurts me physically. So I almost feel like I need to go and find out. And you know, it's a very thin balance between letting the child grow the way they should and also not being too attached, because they can become mama's boys. And yours is a boy as well, so we don't want to start something we cannot handle later on. Right, and so at 2 years, hubby is telling you, honey, think about it.
Just think
seek
about
some help. Right. So how do the next 5 years look like, and how has it been in terms of you and your child, and also trying to improve the situation, and now becoming pregnant again, going through the pregnancy, giving birth, and to get where you are today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I will say actually within the 5 years,
Yes.
I was even scared of getting pregnant again.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
Yes.
so I really had to seek help to be talked into getting another baby.
Right.
Yes, I was really scared. I didn't want to go through the same ordeal. I was scared.
True.
But it got better. At some point, when my son went to school, I remember he went to school to a certain school, and he stayed there for 2 days because he cried. And the dad had paid the full fees, but he cried, and I had to check him. I told, no, he's not going there anymore.
True.
He cannot stay. He is crying.
Yes, yes.
So with time, I decided to let go.
Yes.
So he went to the second school and then a third school. Then I realized it is not the school, it is him. He needs to adjust.
Yes.
And he's seeing the fear in me. You know, he's
Yes.
growing.
And he's very
he
attached to you
Yeah,
as
and
well.
he can see
Yes.
mommy is scared.
Very attached,
So if she's
yes,
scared, this
yes.
place is not safe.
Yes, yes.
So he will also not want
and,
school.
and that's the thing with kids. We think they're just little human beings who don't know anything.
Yeah.
But because of the bond we have with them, they feel everything you feel.
Very true.
Right.
Yeah. So with time, when he went to school, I started letting go. He could go a whole day. You know, at times, the first times he went to school, I could not even leave the house. I wanted to stay there until he comes from school. I see him, I ask him, did anyone hurt you?
Right.
Yeah. So with time, it became better. And then, so I was okay. By last year, but one, I was ready to have a baby.
I see.
Yeah.
Yes. How did that happen? How are you a different parent to your new baby?
So I would say the second pregnancy was quite smooth.
Okay.
I think maybe we decided whatever we didn't do right on the first pregnancy, we tried with the second pregnancy. So it was quite smooth.
Yes.
I didn't have any issues. He really, the dad really tried to be in the country as much as possible.
Yes, yes.
Although he was not there when I was giving birth again.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but this time I was also prepared. I was going to have it via C-section. So theater was not an issue for me. I was prepared. I knew there is the injection, there is the epidural, it will take me 15 to 20 minutes.
Right.
So with the second one, it was a bit easier because the pregnancy was smooth. Plus now giving birth, I had an idea what bringing a baby is.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
so it's okay.
Yeah.
So how has it been different with you're now an 8-month-old?
Yeah, she's 8
8-month-old
months.
baby girl.
Yeah.
Because basically she's still a newborn.
Yeah, she is. but at least I can come all the way to Westlands
Right.
and leave her with a nanny.
Right.
With my son, I left him, I think, when he was about 2.
Oh.
Yes,
And
all the way
that's-
to 2 years.
Yes, Shingo Pande.
Shingo Pande.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's better. I'm not overprotective.
Okay.
And I enjoy it. I feel my kids are safe, so I don't have to do that. And I love things colorful now. I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue like the first time.
Right.
I enjoy it now
Yes,
more.
yes.
Yeah.
And you've been able to handle this like the chapped
Very
mom
true.
you are.
Very true.
Because I still understand the father works abroad.
Yeah, he's still abroad.
And now you have this sweet 7-year-old who is now in grade
1.
grade 1.
Yeah.
And now your newborn
newborn,
daughter.
yes.
And you're able to balance it.
I'm able to balance right now.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was not easy, I think, when I was starting, because
Yes.
maybe my idea of marriage was staying with your husband there, bringing up the kid with him.
Right.
But now he has to work for
Yes,
him to provide.
yes,
So
absolutely.
you have to allow him to go work.
Yes.
So I think also I'm older now.
Yes.
I would say that I'm more mature.
Yes.
I'm able to tell. What do you call it?
You're able to have discernment.
Yes, yes.
To see a situation and know
Yes,
how
true,
it operates.
true. Yes,
and
very
and I
true.
agree with you, because
Yeah.
even me with my second born, I blinked and now he talks back. That's the thing, because he has comebacks. He's turning 3 in a month's time, and he's like a full-grown baby.
Yeah.
But of course, it has a lot of with the way I've brought him up, because I have brought him up with less fear, of
Yeah.
course, more knowledge. I was older when I got him as well.
Yeah.
With firstborns, I think there's a lot of things that we know, but we're never told.
Yeah, true.
And no one can prepare anybody.
True.
You will know, you can even read every book, you can go for parenting classes,
Yeah.
but there's still things you learn on your own,
Yeah.
because each birth, each delivery, each experience is unique in its own way.
True.
And hence why I appreciate you even telling your story
Yeah.
and owning it and saying, hey, I'm that mom who
Yes.
couldn't let go of my baby
Yes.
because I was very fearful.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not an expert, but I can sense from my own experience a lot of that mom guilt as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, sure.
And postpartum depression, which your way, because they say post. So whenever the experience of birth, whatever it gives you, and in your case, the pregnancy towards delivery, not literally, you just knew in your head, I'm the only parent this child has right now.
Yes, yes.
I'm the only one who knows
That's track
what should
fear.
be done.
Yeah.
And we want to normalize these things and
Yeah,
say
true.
it's okay.
It is okay.
It is okay.
Yeah.
But also there's this other thought at the back of your head, and you're saying, what if I become too protective and my child, because we have to be honest.
Yes.
You've seen men, grown men, who still run to mommy and say, oh mommy, under the skirt. So there's that fear, because you want this young man to be his own independent
Very true.
self, yeah?
Yeah.
And honestly, your story is quite incredible.
Yeah.
I appreciate your honesty,
Yes.
brutal truth.
Yeah.
And we are going to still hear from our expert of the day,
Yeah, sure.
and learn more about these things and how, again, you learned, but the whole idea of this show is to teach that parent out there.
Yeah, sure.
And also show them that whatever they're going through is a normal.
It's normal.
It's a normal
Yes.
case.
Yes.
Right. So what, again, an incredible story. It's all about birth experience, raising your young one. Every parent, especially a mother, will have their own experiences, because they say, yes, the dad is the parent, pure DNA in it, but that child lives in a mother's womb. That child has to come out somehow, and that child has to nurse. And hey, in the African society, they say, mtoto ni wa mama.
Mtoto ni wa mama.
So we're the only ones who know the struggles that are silent, the struggles we do not even know of, the struggles we discover later, and eventually the mom guilt. Like, am I leaving my kid too soon? Have I gone back to work too soon? Am I going to let somebody else take care of my son? And this is such a normal thing. And trust me, even today, there's still things I'll step up and I say, oh my goodness, is my child being fed well? Or like I'll give an example. This morning I woke up and I think it was my first day, my son was going back to school. It was a very cold day.
Yeah.
And I made sure I was there, and I was like, no, change these pants, pack this, let him wear this hat. So
can
it's a
relate.
very, very normal thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have Dr. Mora, our amazing expert, who is also a friend of the Nest. And she will tell us more about this thing we call postpartum depression, this thing that cannot be named even, because it's a silent battle. But please do not touch that dial. We'll be right back.